Alrighty, welcome back to our final game of the night. I'm back with Wolfie. James Madison takes on undefeated Georgia State as both teams again unbeaten for another undefeated matchup here. Both teams also ranked just inside the top 25 as CCS. Both teams sit atop the Sun Belt at 3-0.
Well, when you have two top teams, I think we're gonna see ourselves in a heck of a series. This one might just see itself go the long way here, nation. But when I see James Madison on the docket and I see Gad's name there, I can never root against him. I'm expecting James Madison to come out here and dominate. It's gonna be a heck of a series, but it can go either way. The first half is really going to tell us a lot, especially on how the pressure is going to be for this entire series going on.
James Madison ranked at 14 in the country. Georgia State ranked at 21. So, again, they're both top 25. Both just inside the top 21. So, again, they're fairly close in the rankings. I think we've got a Game 5 on the cards here.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. The people saw the sweep last time. Let's go with Game 5, kind of reverse the narrative here. But nonetheless, we're in for a heck of a series. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Show us your predictions in chat. James Madison looking to get themselves going.
5 minutes back on the clock. The final game of the night, Georgia State and James Madison here to close out playing. This is about as, a rivalry as good as old as time, Wolfie, here in the Sun Belt.
Oh, you see it. Monk showing off here. First goal coming in. And this is where you want to start. Allow yourself to absolutely dominate the scoreline. Monk doing a heck of a job seeing that offensive attack and absolutely dominated.
1-0 Monk Jr. 11 seconds in. And, I know, Wolfie, you're very familiar with Monk Jr. I've managed him for a long time in his old rosters. You got to see him play a couple times. And he's one heck of a player, but so is Gad, and so is the JMU team. So it should be a fun one here. And again, 20 seconds in, it's a 1-0 lead for the Panthers.
Well, Monk and Buddy together, I really love the way that tandem really looks here on paper. First time I get to see them together. So, it's one where the feeling out period, I feel, is going to go a lot quicker than I expect. These offenses had time already to understand how they want to play and, such high IQ all over the pitch. I'm expecting this one to potentially be a fireworks show here in game number 1, but maybe taper off here as the series goes on once they start knowing each other.
I think it goes to 5. I really do. As Mock almost a double. Asian Eyes rebound. It's 2-0.
Well, that one's showing eyes wide open. And eyes wide shut for the side of JMU. What a chance. Monk saying, I didn't grab it, but it was all calculated. It was a pass. The crossbar helped me. And that's going to put them up 2-0. But in the first 59 seconds, this team is doing a heck of a job of showing their offensive prowess.
That they are, walking. Again, it's no credit. Monk Jr. is leading this offense to possession after possession. And again, JMU just can't catch a break so far, just through minute 12, but still plenty of time left to go. His right's broken up there. Gad and Tyler behind him in a second and third. But, this Duke team, they've had a couple of tournament appearances in CCS, about a couple of round of 32s and one Sweet 16, and now trying to go back to the tournament after, not playing last season. So it'll be their first appearance since Season 5.
Well, when you come out against a really good team, it's easy to kind of see your head snap quickly for some whiplash. And I think for JMU, they just got caught with that. You have to find a way to get one on the board. I think with this offense, they need to settle it in. And I don't think anyone expected to go to see the scoreline, Georgia State up 2-0 quickly. I expect maybe a goal or two here, but from both teams, at least one. But heck of a job. It seems the pressure for Georgia State is just too much. JMU just hasn't had too much time on their half.
Not at all. Gad fires. It's off the demo and good. 2-1.
Well, I said they're taking their time. They said, Wolfie, you're not patient enough. You see it there, the RLCS 2024 Challenger. Gad is glad with the demo open things up. Tyler grabbing the assist.
That's a bad man. 2:55 left to go. Georgia State lead cut down to 1 here, Wolfie, and Gad gonna find the opener for the Dukes offense. Now right for a second flip, reset, it's good. 2-all.
Big plays, big players, and big moments. Right now, just spooking the defense. We said they needed some time. Well, they're adjusted, they're acclimated, and they're all equal.
What a play. JMU there, Fry picking up the flip reset, and all of a sudden, it goes from 2-0 to 2-all here, Wolfie, in the span of about a minute.
Oh, I think I know why. It's a Gad buff right now in the chat. You see his family coming out. That's what we love. One thing about Gad, it's just the fact of the fan base, the people that support him, and when they go to that point, you're saying I'm playing for more than myself. And James Madison right now, they're showing it, but Monk's showing I've been part of the scene longer than you have. And the great save there coming in at the last second.
Monk's got to be able to put those opportunities away, Wolfie. And Monk, there's a second opportunity, a double. It's good for Monk. 3-2.
I wish I'm saying I'm surprised here, but no, I'm not. You see it. The blue lock, they're saying, I can read the whole field. I know what I need to do, and that's score the ball. 217, James Madison. They did a great job on the flurry. We knew that it wasn't going to go on forever. You got 2 unanswered goals for yourself. This team here for Georgia State, very high offensively inclined. You at least shut them out for a while. You brought it back into 1, but try to bring it back and get yourself a lead while at it.
Give me a warning. Here in game 1 is JMU trail by 1. Georgia State so far have done a pretty stellar job defensively, although they did kind of give up 2 pretty quickly earlier. But again, Monk Jr. and one more double attempt here is going to be no good. As JMU will clear that one wide. The left is again 106 to go, Wolfie, and JMU still hanging on within 1 here.
Well, and this is where you can't panic. Be methodical with it. Understand that it doesn't have to come off of one big boom. Try to see yourself get smaller passes, work your way up the field. You know you are mechanically inclined. These are such great offensive players on this side of the pitch. They can go get a bucket, but see yourself make it easy on yourself with a couple passes.
There's a long clear, no one home. It's going to be 3-all, minute 17, and we've got 77 seconds left.
They always say the fastest way to score is straight. And Gad said, Wolfie, you want passes? How about I just do it myself? Just an absolute great job. A pull shot finding its way in. 3-3-1-17. The series of the night. Going to close out the night in a hard start. But can JMU or will Georgia State find a way to get it done?
67 seconds on the clock. 6-7. 105 though. Left to play here in game 1. Oh, sorry, we had to do it. It's JMU trying to put away a 4th. Couldn't put that one home. They just saved the right corner, and again the run skate.
And it's going to take more than that right now. JMU, they're starting to find a chemistry. Good demo right there. Unfortunately, nobody in the vicinity potentially use that to their advantage, as we'll be able to respawn. JMU trying to get back. Monk, low boost, but has enough to try to get something going. Does miss. They're going to have to rotate backwards quickly, as Asian Eye is going to try to get off the backboard, but Gad there to watch it the whole way.
It's 28 seconds left here. Georgia State, JMU all equal at 3. The next goal very well likely the game winner. Is Gad over the top lines, 1 touch rightward. Now Monk Jr. waiting with the clear tank there. Will make a challenge. Buddy trying to keep it in play here for now. 10 to go. The Panthers out of time here, but again, JMU more than content with overtime, it seems.
Well, here we go. I'm down for it. OT. Fright says we might not see it. And what a chance there. The 0 second with too much cluster inside the net. Welcome to overtime. Are going to be here quickly. And okay, yes, we're going to be here for a while.
That's about as lucky save as you're going to get with that ball bouncing off both posts and out harm's way, Wolfie. So they're going to think they're lucky stars. It's still OT right now, and I don't think the Panthers were expecting Bright to hit that double at the end of regulation either. So I think both teams are still kind of in a state of shock for a little bit.
I think as well, and when you talk about trying to get out of a series, the way that Georgia State's played this game has done a great job. But to win it quickly is where they were on it. Let's get out of here. JMU is the dangerous team. JMU now has a chance to get themselves going. Look for Monk to really get it going on the offensive side. I think the reason he took the junior off because he says, "Hey, I'm a big player now. I know how to play in big moments." As this one will not see it off the backboard. No touch won't go, as this will just see it so gingerly going to midfield.
Might even have Mock the third on the way here soon, Wolfie. Is he's engaged. I think they're having a baby next year, so
okay.
he might in about 15 years we might see Mock the third.
Oh my God! I'm hoping Rocket League lasts that long. We all want to have a job for that entirety of time, and that's what the storylines get built. That's where the longevity of esports, and we're still so young here. Imagine that, nation. We start seeing the first Killer Juniors, the Daniel Juniors later on, and how that kind of looks in for the landscape here of the pro scene. But back into the action here in OT. 133. No one has been able to do too much. A stalemate, it seems. Is Frike going to take it by himself in the corner? Quick pinch, won't go.
I mean, RLCS 2038 being those players become eligible, but minute 46 left to go here on the clock. And again, both teams still at a stalemate. They've had a couple of elite opportunities to score, but nothing able to get in through the net so far. This is also the first overtime of the night.
Okay, they say best for last, nation. You always know to schedule it up that way. And these two teams says you all waited the entirety of the night for this. We're going to give you your money's worth. I don't care if you're watching this for free. It's priceless in the eyes of the beholder. As Buddy trying to grab a pass, Will a little awkward here, trying to use up some boost, but can get to it, but without too much possession there.
Strike back to center field. Double clean of the defense is again Mock able to find the save. Half the game, another half has been played in overtime, and now Tyler trying to feed Gad. There's a shot to the corner, no good. It's Asian Eyes off the save. Now Gad back to center, no one there. Still, we carry on at 3-0.
And how much better to do that now? I know the chat would have exploded, but that was it. Tyler says no. Syracuse, Georgia State right now. What a job, but this is where this defense, the backbone, the experience of JMU is completely showing itself. They know how to play in big moments. This is not something where they're uncomfortable. They're used to the spotlight like this.
That they are, and again, they've played very well so far. This is just game one. Tyler going to end it 1-0 goes to Dukes.
Tyler, he made the save, and he made the goal. Look good, play good, and he's going to get paid good as that's going to go for the first win. 3-10 in the OT Nation. That could have another half of Rocket League and then some here in the game number one.
And, imagine, in this day and age where, schools can pay, their athletes and, esports. And I don't know how far away we are from that and NIL and everything in this day and age and college sport environment. But again, the money's a real factor. And some of these, I don't know if these schools are, but I know there are schools across the country. Some of these players are on full rides, so it is nice to have money. Your tuition covered.
Hey, tuition covered, state of the art facilities. It's a great day and age to be an esport player.
I would agree. I mean, again, I think it's still far from
so early.
It's far from legitimization, but it is starting to really kind of grow across the country, which is cool to see.
Well, and you're seeing the rivalries, how these teams kind of take it. 4-3, 3-10 OT. They're putting their all on the line, and only one shot being the differential, or two shots being the differential here between the two, and James Madison and Georgia State. And the high-powered offense. When I saw a team with Monk and Buddy, I felt that this was going to be a tough hurdle to climb. But it's where they said we have our hiking boots on. James Madison, they have a bone right now, but can they run with it?
And this team's made the CCS championships, several amount of times with different thirds along the way. So they've gotten the job done with multiple different people as their third man with Mock and Buddy, obviously. But that first opportunity for Mock goes by the wayside. It's just game two. We played almost 2 full games, though, just through the first game.
It was one of those feeler out games, but it kind of stretched to a high out competition. I felt that was going to be one of the lower scoring ones here as we get into game number 2, and we'll see how this one really derives. That OT kind of gave us a glimpse, I feel, into how well they start understanding on what they like to do. And these players are so used to each other. I understand the lights being the difference, but scrims, they're outranked. But when the lights are bright, when the chat is active, can you yourself be able to perform? Tyler has been able to. Asian Eye is going to push this off towards midfield. Good touch. Solo. Monk getting the last one. The team captain, the King Superstar, opening up.
And Asian Eyes gets the foot reset and forces the 50 on the goal line. Mock going to beat Gad and Wolfie. I hate this map because it always messes up the colors and it makes this blue and purple look very eerily similar. And I know the players have blue and orange, obviously they don't have the team colors turned on, but it does look very, very similar, which could affect these players if they don't have, blue and orange on.
And, that's kind of where they're saying we got to play through the elements. Our school colors on this map, we have to look at that and just say, just be better. We know we have to come in here with Asian eyes, saying no blurry vision so far, has been playing a heck of a series. Gad won't see too much there on the upward pass. We'll just try to rotate back quickly and not allow for the counterattack.
This one threatening down low. Tyler. Broken up still to flip. We'll get it across the goal line, buddy. Off the save, and it's just this map that makes these colors look a little confusing, but it'll be back to normal in game 3. But yeah, for whatever reason, Forbidden Temple has a lighting issue, and it kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Hey, and it's one where we put so much emphasis on the player experience and the viewership experience. The great save there from Gad. Goal line just in the inches of doom, able to see the light. But it's where we're seeing Rocket League start to take the toll up, and you're starting to see the new play styles that are going to be implemented into RLCS, the new updates that are coming out, and hopefully this one gets updated very soon.
Yeah, I mean, back at season 2, San Diego State played Florida State in a Final Four. We used the red for San Diego State and maroon for Florida State, and the players all left the lobby in game 2 because of how bad the colors were. So we had to fix it and make Florida State their tan color. But Asian Eye feeds Mock. Tyler off the save, double attempt for Buddy. He ain't gonna get there. And they got a good jump in time there. Half the game though gone. Leads at 1-0 for the Panthers.
Well, this is a good job right now for Georgia State. They're showing that they can control tempo, they can control time. All you need is one. In high-level Rocket League, you're not always going to find yourself getting a flurry of attacks. Sure, you might see yourself get 3-4 goals, but to be able to win in crunch time here when it's 1-0, when you see yourself just having to maintain and not do too much to put yourself on the back heels. Monk trying to put himself on the forefront. We'll see it lofting in front of the goal here as Tyler can't get too much of a 50-50. That's going to get lost, but Gad able to find it.
Yeah, and a motto, Coach, it's sure to be a Hall of Famer one day. Coach Grant McCaslin from Texas Tech always says, the toughest team wins. And, again, we've seen that early tonight with Georgia State and JMU. They have gone, neck and neck. They are fighting hard for a win here.
Oh, and this is where they're saying, you talk about paying players, or paying teams, and they're saying, hey, it doesn't matter if we're paid or not. We just want to dominate. And I think it's where James Madison's kind of coming in. This team is on the forefront. Yes, they're higher in the rankings, but Georgia State, they're playing with some energy. They're playing with some and Asian eyes trying to show the world. I might be Monk and Buddy, but don't forget my name in the mix of it.
2-0, 117. Now this time a 2-0 lead holds as they want to pause. See what's going on. We haven't really had to pause that many times this season yet. Tyler, looks like we lost Tyler.
Okay, so a quick lag out when we, the competitive integrity, trying to allow himself to get right back in here. But, great job here for Rocket League, adding these new TO features. Before, you had to have an account. Now we find ourselves with these great opportunities. And that's what we're talking about, Nation, about getting better. And I think for Rocket League, you're seeing things start to really improve, but the improvement from this team from Georgia State, what a job. They're leading 2-0 with 117 remaining. They're about to tie the series up 1-1.
That they are, and again, it's tough though, because you look at a series like this, and the job that obviously Georgia State has done to get back to the 1-1 here if they can hold out a win. But James Madison ranked 14th in the country. They've played a good season so far. So both these teams, we could be seeing a tournament title game later on between these two teams.
Exactly. These are just the ones where you're trying to put good film. You're not trying to show too much. It's another playoff team. It's a team that's going to find themselves having that long journey in the postseason. And you want to be able to say, okay, we understand what they are. We played them this way. We're going to go back onto these replays. We're going to find things that we feel we can take advantage of. And, this pause right now, this gives them extra chance just to have a quick conversation about it, or just have some water, relax, give yourself a breather. We're talking about stamina. When you have high-level competition, can you be consistent over the entirety of the series is going to be the key. Right now for James Madison, they could be at a point where a long OT in that last game. Are you tired? Is your mental still focused? Now just going to try to resharpen in.
Absolutely. And again, Tyler, we're still waiting on him to reconnect here. But again, stuff happens, obviously, and we lost Tyler. I think he's probably at this point resetting, but hopefully he gets back in here soon so he can continue on with game 2. But right now, 2-0, a minute 17 left to go as GSU leads by 2.
Well, with the 2-0, with them leading right now by 2, it's going to be tough for you to be able to put your pedal right back onto it. And it's where JMU is going to say, this is a moment. We don't have a chance to backstep here, boys. We have 117 to get 2 goals. They got it quickly when they saw themselves in the same position. They're used to this spot, Nation. They were down 2-0. Yes, with some more time. We will give them that. They had more time to get it done than their current opportunity, but now no lag. You see yourself with a fresh start, the kickoff coming in, and we're all the way back. Can the hill be climbed? James Madison did it in game 1. Can they do it in game 2?
We're back underway after a quick pause. I think it's the second pause of the season so far. I haven't had to pause too many times, which is nice. But, it always, it depends on the situation. It's kind of difficult sometimes to do the pause to reset the game or reset the clock. But nonetheless, we're back to 2-0. 55 seconds left to go. Tyler's free back in the lobby here. He's reconnected.
So now it's hit them quick. See if this team from Georgia State got cold in that bit of an intermission. And, if they can find a way to light a match quick, maybe they can combust. But the way things are looking, will we go to 1-1? That's what the current straws are telling. Gad with the 50-50. This is going to get lofted towards midfield. Quick demo will allow for Buddy to have full possession and a chance, but not much of it as we come into the final 30. Taking it slow, but that one going to have to come quicker.
Tyler Kirsch, that one wide to left now. Buddy, 18 to go, taking his sweet time, running this clock out. It's textbook Rocket League here, Wolfie, running this clock out efficiently as they have. 10 to go. JMU out of time here. We're down by 2. This offense has to find a way to score. They're not going to do just that. It's going to be a 1-1 series after 10 minutes.
What a chance now. Georgia State, you leveled it all up. Now, can you take the reins? This is one of those games now where you go into game number 3 trying to just see yourself kind of get that swing game. Going up 2-1 for the rest of this best of 5 is huge. It's gonna take James Madison to start off early. They haven't had an opening goal to give them a lead. You can't continue to hope yourself back into games with comebacks.
10-6 in the shot difference, and on to game 3 after a disconnection. I mean, JMU now 1-1. Both teams want to win on the book, and now it's a best of 3 down the stretch.
Well, this is what we wanted. High-level Rocket League, high stakes, and an undefeated record on the line for both. And when you have 2 undefeated records, you don't want to see that one. You don't want to be the team to put that one there. But I think if James Madison is kind of looking at this or saying, yeah, we want to turn that goose egg into 1 on that losers column because we know we're the top dog. But with a heap of knowledge with Monk and Buddy, with Asian Eyes playing absolutely out of his mind, this team comes in with 4 more shots there. What can you do on a defensive side when you're constantly being pressured like that?
JMU took the whole 60 already up too, so they really discussed their strategy here for game 3. So we got a swing game, won't be 1-1. Now the winner to match point.
Well, buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. Put your predictions. Who do you feel is going to end this one? Asian Eyes come through blinding, but he continues to be the shining star. Wow. So, Nation, did we expect this so quick? Asian Eyes says they took the full 60, but I'm going to make them remember this one.
4:40 left to go here, Wolfie. And again, I mean, what are you seeing early on, though? I mean, again, we've been about 11 minutes through this series. If you add on overtime, about 13 and a half. But, for me, again, Georgia State, I'd say, are the underdogs. But, there's a lot of belief in this program and what they can do and who they can, compete with. So I'm not shocked to see them out to these solo starts we've gotten to see so far.
Well, they're the most explosive team here, and it's great to really watch them go out with such gumption. And when you're coming in and you're constantly getting first goals in the first 60 seconds, this is their 3rd game to do it. It's no coincidence that they're in this position. They understand what the tea leaves read, and they want us to say Georgia State victory. great job here for JMU in game number 1 to have a comeback. But I said it, you can't continue relying on comebacks. These are two skilled players that have and know how to finish out games and finish out series.
Absolutely. And, you know, in a series like this, again, both these two teams probably going to be rematched later on in the conference tournament championship
100%.
game, but I think they even play each other in the regular season twice. I think they play each other again in 3 weeks, but nonetheless, it's a goal for JMU. It's Gad, 1-1.
Well, aren't you glad? The man with the GAD had himself a very smart goal to get themselves going, and no, Gad, just small bump, does it himself. And I think if you look for an easier goal, you kind of have to look at that one. I think JMU kind of got gifted one.
I would agree there. I mean, again, the defense still kind of, you know, broke up a little bit, but 3:28 to play, and still plenty of clock left to go here, obviously, in Game 3. In a swing game, we're 2-1, the match points on the line for the winner, but if you are JMU, this is a game you really need to win.
Well, you know what they say, Nation. Any goal is a good goal, so I don't care how you get it. Does it put a point on your board? Yes, it does. That's positive for your team. And but now, can you take a lead? You know, they waited till OT back in game 1 to get their win. You can't wait till OT. Stop putting yourself in such high pressure situations where you're constantly having to perform at such high levels. Give yourself a breather. Play your brand of Rocket League. Find ways to keep possession and waste time, and see yourself go away with a 2-1 lead in this series.
That's easier said than done as well, Wolfie, as Tyler wants a second. There's the lead.
Well, can you blame him? He's been that second man, the 1B to the 1A of Gad, and you know, Tyler has had his moments, and he continues to shine into them.
That he does, and half the game almost gone here, just 14 seconds away from halftime here as Asian Eyes underneath one, trying to fire, couldn't get anything there to go, and approaching halftime, Wolfie, JMU just look the better part right now.
Yeah, they do, and their offense is starting to really play where I really like how Buddy and Monk were playing off the ball and really allowing Asian Eyes to succeed due to them just controlling a lot of havoc and the bump plays and how aggressive they're being here so far. But no, JMU, they're starting to understand the tricks. They're saying, all right, you're sending this in. You're trying to allow ourselves to get boost start in these moments. We're going to put ourselves with some better passes. Connect the dots. And that's going to go for the third, and a 2-goal lead here with 2:09.
2:09, 3-1. Now the Dukes are the largest lead of the night, Wolfie, here by 2. They've just won that one game in overtime. They haven't led in regulation any points since prior to Game 3. So now the Dukes leading by 2. They're largest of the night. We'll see if the Panthers can find a way to claw back.
And they have it in them. Georgia State, this is a team that decisively won game number 2. Yes, James Madison maybe have came into a moment where they weren't prepared, but they have some notable names, and Buddy is one of them. A friend of all, but a friend to all that go to Georgia State.
153, they're back within 1. That's a pretty quick answer back as well. We'll be leaving more than enough manageable time for this last goal to come through for Georgia State, but nonetheless, back within 1 here, and 20 o'clock still to go.
Well, you know what a team is about when they're down. Georgia State hasn't had to really be down much of the series, besides the OT, but that's the point where they're equalized. They're comfortable with the lead. Now you see yourself with a deficit. Can you still play at the same type of efficiency? That's what you're being tested right now as Asian Eyes clearing this one off. It will be lofted towards midfield. Not much to go, but a goal here for Fright.
The Dukes back within a 2-goal margin as Fright picks off the defense there. Mock got 50 and lost it on the goal line. That's unfortunately for GSU. Now a 2-goal hole with 88 seconds left.
Well, he deserves that goal. He has 3 assists to his name. Might as well get get a goal as well. Heck of a job in showing himself to really be doing it all. And you know, a 2-goal lead, is this going to be enough now for the Dukes? James Madison, they see themselves in a comfortable position. The biggest lead they've had in any game this series. And after a game where you got 2-0'd, they really show themselves to come right back on the offensive front and get some big goals.
102 to go. Bright able to put away a 5th. 101. That might be the kill shot.
Oh, he says 2 goals, 2 shots, 2 saves. Good things coming twos. Now I'm going to continue pairing it with some great plays. You know, it's Rocket League 101, literally. What the clock says. Just give it to your man, let him eat.
Absolutely. He's, eating a full course meal tonight, Wolfie. 56 seconds left. It's still technically, Mock a double almost. As Buddy just wide left there. Rebound for Asian Eyes is good for a third. They're still within 2.
There's always a chance, and now this next kickoff becomes it. You can find a way to get it quickly. Now Madison has some doubt in their mind where they're still confident. They know they can give up a goal, but this is where you want to spook them. You've got to get it off this kickoff.
That you do, and they might have an opportunity here. Asian Eyes into the backboard, waterfall down, no one home, right? Will clear the pressure off the defense for now. 38 to play, and now Mock in trouble. Buddy off the post and wide left. Tyler rebound. It's 6-3. He's got a hat trick.
Well, a collection he's trying to put up. And what a job. This offense, they just seem so comfortable here. Fry getting a little touch there for himself, getting the assist. But, 6-3 lead. This team is just taking off. When this offense seemed to have stalled out, they made adjustments. And the way they're playing, you might see this series end next game.
23 seconds left to go. Now Tyler out towards Mock. Back down, net by Fright. 15 to go, and GSU will be out of time here in game 3. It's going to look like the Dukes are going to lead us 2-1 going into game 4. Tyler with a double, no good.
Yeah, what more do you want? The greed there, saying we still want goal. We want some more. We want some more. We're willing to pass them out, give them out for free. As this one will hit the pay dirt. James Madison cashing in big here in this game, going up 2-1. And all right, they're in the driver's seat, but they've been known the way the series has gone in game 1 and 2 to switch kind of the baton back and forth. We'll see if Georgia State kind of takes the tide here.
JMU now 1 win away from continuing on to 4-0 on their unbeaten season. 10 shots to just 8 there for Georgia State. So pretty close in the shot category, but Panthers come up short yet again. We're on to game 4.
Well, this is it. If you're Georgia State, all you have to say is, boys, we got to put up now. There is no next game. It's only next goal. We have to win every single goal out there. Make the big goal of joining this game into a smaller, more accessible one as the series go on. Hey, let's try to get an assist this game. Hey, let's try to go for X amount of shots. We need to find ways to get little wins, build confidence in a series where you have to be methodical in the entire 5 minutes in this must-win game.
Absolutely. Now if you are Georgia State, it's now or never. You're going to continue on undefeated in conference play. You've got to find a way to battle back here and get on to game 5 and pick up a big-time win.
Well, the great thing about seeing two teams that are undefeated is that one of them's not going to be at the end of it, and they're fighting for it. James Madison, they've been part of the program for quite a long time. They understand what the standard is over there, and for themselves an undefeated season where they expect them to be. And Fright expects a beautiful pass, gets it, executes, and the first goal going to JMU.
4:30 Fright on the first, Wolfie. And JMU out to an early start again. Now again they've scored back to. I think this is the first time they've led 1-0 in this series.
Well, exactly. We said in that last series, for the last couple games of this entire series, they were down. They had to make comebacks. They never got into a position where they led on the early up and up. It's all been Georgia State. Now, how is Georgia State going to come in here? You saw them have a big deficit last game. Now you're down by 1. You got shocked early, but can you put up your big boy pants and say, let's go to work? Our hard hats are on. Our hammers are in our hand. It's time to build ourselves a comeback.
We're 60 off the clock here, and JMU trying to put away Georgia State in 4. And so back in the podcast on Monday, I took the Panthers in 5, Wolfie, but Tyler makes it 2-0.
Yeah, and that's kind of one where I think JMU, may have been Jalen Hurts watching that stream and just saying, okay, you think they're going to get it in 5? How about we do it in 4? As Tyler, he's been the MVP this game. He has been so phenomenal to watch.
3:48 left to go, and I know Georgia State played Clemson earlier tonight in Bepic's show match series, and I'm not sure the result of that series, but it might not have been pretty if this is the way that they're going to open up here with JMU. But 3:35 to go, and right now with a 2-0 lead, a 3.5 away from a 4-0 start.
And what a way for James Madison to get this series kind of going. In one where you kind of took your bumps, you had to really play it out the entire way, but this team never kept pressing. And that first game kind of gave us a big glimpse of what this team has in store. When they needed themselves to get the goals, they did. Georgia State, you have 3:07 remaining for this entire series. Are you going to be able to take it to game 5 at the very least and give the people at home what they're looking for? Or will this one end in 4 and JMU find themselves going to the dorms a little early?
DSU beat Clemson 4-1 earlier, so they are on a high right now. But again, they still have to find a way to claw their way back into this series. Well, if it's going to down by 2, half the game behind them, and still no offensive boards yet.
No offensive board, and just this is where you need one. Oh, and Buddy went for the demo or bump attempt there in net, wasn't able to get either, and that could have been the first goal and what potentially changed the tides now. But Georgia State needs to look for another one. This is where you take your time, play possession here if you're James Madison.
And this offense has to get rebounds, and they have to put shots back on target and great second opportunities to put JMU in difficult situations defensively, and they just haven't done that tonight so far, and it's showing out here in game 4. This offense is at 0 with the goose egg with 2 minutes on the clock, with the 2-minute warning.
Well, little by little, this game is seeing itself coming to the wayside, and I'm loving how JMU it performed, and I can't really look more onto just their competitive mindset. And for a lot of teams, when you get hit the way they did, they kind of shell up, they kind of get defensive. They say, all right, boys, I don't know what to do, we gotta protect ourselves right now. And JMU said, no, we just need to go out there and show them who we are. Tyler came out, put the entire landscape on display, especially for myself. First time seeing him on this roster with Gad. And they're saying, hey, this tandem, they can get it done. They can go a long way. But Asian Eyes, I feel, is going to be a player to really look for, to be one of the best as this season goes along.
Will be a difference maker, that's for sure, alongside the duo of Buddy and Monk that are very useful to one another. But Asian Knights is that new third. They're trying to make a difference with it. That one just wide for Monk Jr. The final 60 approaching us here just past this final minute, and now it's now or never here for Georgia State.
I want some dramatics. Let's get one more goal here for Georgia State. Let's try to cut it by 1 and really see some adrenaline off the kickoff. But I know the Gad family right now is saying, no, Wolfie, let's go home with some W's under our belt right now. We're looking to continue on the undefeated season, as it's looking to be a truth. A goal won't come. That could have put it away.
That was for sure the nail in the coffin here for Game 3. I had fright to score, but 30 seconds, it's still doable if you are Georgia State, but it's got to be here and now, Wolfie, and it just doesn't look like it's going to come anytime soon. 20 to go, this offense out of opportunities. It just feels like they're out of it.
Yeah, and it's when we're just saying, hey, good job. We'll try to see maybe 1-2 more design plays, something that we can kind of go back and look at and maybe draw something else for the next time we see this team, because you mentioned it, Nation. Not the last time they're going to be on the pitch together, but the first time James Madison this season, they take the W to continue on the undefeated season. Tyler getting the MVP awards here in this last game, but I think overall in the series, he deserves it.
Yeah, they don't play each other again in the regular season, so it'll come down to a conference tournament game if they do meet yet again. But what a win that is for JMU. 3-1, your final score.
Well, Nation, it was a heck of a job being here with you. I had such a great time at being in the booth, going some Rocket League, back in my comfort zone. I've been doing a lot of Smash. I've been doing a lot of Rematch, but nothing feels better than doing some Rocket League.
Yeah, it's Rocket League's always fun. It's and this league just continues to get better and better with more schools joining. And our goal obviously is 200 at some point. I'm hoping we can get there in the spring. I think it's going to be possible, but it's going to be very tough to do. But again, anyway, we're excited to see what this season comes down to. Still a lot more games to come through. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.